Overview of Galatians. Although the book of Galatians was written about 2,000 years ago, knowing and understanding its message is as important now, as it was then. When Paul wrote this letter, there were religious people who were perverting the gospel which he was preaching. That problem is continuing today. The message of Galatians. The message of Galatians is simple, but the religious attack on the gospel is crafty. The simple message of Galatians is that Jesus paid the full price for our sins when he died on the cross. Our response to his payment is simple. We must put our faith in him. We must trust him and what he did for us. We cannot earn forgiveness or salvation. It is a free gift. If we try to earn it, we will lose it. Understanding the religious attack on the gospel. Pride is at the heart of religion. Every religious person wants to believe that their religion is right, and that others are wrong. That was the case when Paul was preaching the gospel of Jesus. Paul was taking the gospel to Gentiles, that is the non-Jewish people. There were religious, Jewish people following him, and telling the Gentile believers that they must keep the law of Moses, which includes the 10 Commandments, to be saved. They were telling people that the evidence of keeping the law was to be circumcised. This had become a Jewish, religious tradition. It was their superficial evidence that they were keepers of the law. Paul shows the hypocrisy of this belief by pointing out that they were not keeping the law of Moses themselves. Even though they were not actually keeping the law themselves, they were imposing the keeping of the law on Gentile believers. Similar religious beliefs today. Although the religious practice of circumcision is not taught today, there are other false teachings that have a similar effect. Many religious people teach that you must keep the 10 Commandments to be saved. The term 10 Commandments is only found 2 times in the Old Testament, and never in the New Testament. The 10 Commandments are part of the law of Moses, which we have been set free from. There are New Testament commandments that we are to obey. But we are not saved by obeying them. Ironically, there is nobody who actually keeps all of the 10 Commandments, or all of the law, all of the time. Other religious beliefs today. Many religious people today will tell you that you must go to church, or tithe. However, they are crafty and not straightforward. They do not blatantly say that you are required to do these things to be saved, but they do imply it, and will judge you if you don't. If going to church or tithing were required to be saved, then salvation would be earned, and would not be a free gift. Freedom from the law, which includes the 10 Commandments. The main theme of Galatians is that Jesus has set us free from the law, and that salvation is a free gift. We can only receive this gift through faith in Jesus. This gift cannot be earned, or it is no longer a gift. Paul clarifies that if salvation comes by works of the law, then Christ died in vain. You cannot earn salvation by works, or by keeping the law. If you try, you will lose it. The curse of the law. Paul also makes it clear that if you are under the law, that you are under a curse, and that you are obligated to keep the whole law. Nobody can, or ever has, kept the whole law all the time. Paul also says in chapter 5, that if you attempt to be justified by the law, that you are estranged from Christ, and that you are fallen from grace. Jesus' death on the cross was enough. You cannot add to it.